There's been plenty of moments that I fell in hard times. More often than not, getting faded was my lifeline. I realized that I've always struggled with change, but sometimes you gotta rearrange before you go insane. I've been doing my best to stay true to myself, put my next foot forward and smoking dope for my health. I never give up the music till I'm rolling in wealth. Some days I swear this basement's my own personal hell. Well, I love the sound of the city. Goddamn, I love the sound of the city. Yeah, yeah. I'm wide awake when you're with me. I feel better when you got my back, yeah. Red eyes, I'm sky high. I think this might be the best night that I've ever had, that I've ever spent with you. I confess I'm obsessed with the sex. Heart palpitations every time that she texts. I admit that we ain't always been the best for each other, but what is love without the little test? Girl, you know you're my sneaky link. When I'm with you, my ego shrink. I'm just craving time for us alone. I think about you every time I'm home smoking dope. I love the sound of the city. Goddamn, I love the sound of the city. Yeah, yeah. I'm wide awake when you're with me. I feel better when you got my back, yeah. Red eyes, I'm sky high. I think this might be the best night that I've ever had, that I've ever spent with you.
The white of my eyes when you're spilling your lies. It's fine, I'm high. I wanna talk about money. I wanna talk about money. I wanna talk about. It's fine, I'm high. I wanna talk about. I wanna talk about white of my eyes when you're spilling your lies. It's fine, I'm high. I wanna talk about money. I wanna talk about money. I wanna talk about. It's fine, I'm high. I wanna talk about. I wanna talk about. Run from infinite thoughts. When I was young, I would run for the cops. Fearing and death, I just run from the loss. Down inside my corrupted mind. Search every corner where the demons hide. I don't even know what you're trying to find. What you're trying to find. This fucked up life of mine. Down and low like a landmine. I'm down to my damn mind. Every single day I'm sky high. Look in the white of my eyes when you're spilling your lies. It's fine, I'm high. I wanna talk about money. I wanna talk about money. I wanna talk about. It's fine, I'm high. I wanna talk about. I wanna talk about white in my eyes when you're spilling your lies. It's fine, I'm high. I wanna talk about money. I wanna talk about money. I wanna talk about. It's fine, I'm high. I wanna talk about. I wanna talk about white in my eyes when you're spilling your. I'm high. I wanna talk about. I wanna talk about.
What's up, everyone? Happy Wednesday. Thanks for being here. We're entering that stage in the market where everything's boring. There's not a lot for me to talk about. There's not a lot for you to talk about. Nothing's exciting. Price hardly moves. There's low volume. Of course, you're going to have the people that say Bitcoin's doomed. It's going to 12K. More on that later. But my biggest piece of advice to you is this is your chance to make a plan, to sit back and maybe take a break. We've had a year, or really the last 2 or 3 years, of a crazy one. We went up, then we went down, then we went back up again, and now we're going sideways more or less. And even before that, with Bitcoin in 2021, we went all the way to 65, all the way down to 30, then all the way back up to 52 before a small correction, then all the way back up to 69, and then from 69 all the way down to 15. So crazy market. In the last couple months, we've had a chance to more or less take a break, take a deep breath, and let the craziness take a break from the craziness. And again, guys, the people that make money, especially on the long-term trading, this is where and how you do it, right? Whether that be dollar cost averaging right now, whether that be doing some research and figuring out which altcoins, are solid projects. Maybe there are big companies looking at them. Maybe there are rumors going around that, and I have no idea if this is true. This is just a made-up scenario. Let's say, a big car dealership, GMC, is going to start using Link because to help process more data with, like, I don't know, traffic data or something like that. I don't know. I'm just making something up. That could propel that price upwards even further because of, bull run, and then on top of that, positive news. Again, made up scenario. I have no idea if that's going to happen, but it's just more or less looking at, okay, what altcoins have a chance at doing well, what have done in the past? Is there a solid backing? Is there a good community? So on and so forth. Obviously, Bitcoin and Ethereum will do well, but as you guys know, when those top, your altcoins go crazy before we start our next bear market cyclically. Excuse me. But yeah, this is your chance to really dig in and say, okay, I'm going to make my plan. I'd recommend not watching charts more than twice a day. Just wear yourself out. It's going to be boring probably for the rest of the year. But let's go ahead with the S&P. Little pullback, nothing major here. There actually is bullish divergence forming on RSI here on the weekly, so I'm really liking the chance at continuation, seeing probably some consolidation up here before moving higher. Ultimately, our uptrend is here, so we could slowly move sideways, correct, do something like this before going higher. Again, we're still in an uptrend. We're still looking bullish. There's bullish divergences. Nothing else to be concerned about. The dollar. This is interesting, right? We had originally marked this as a breakdown, and unfortunately, it's recaptured support. So you could argue that maybe this is deviation, maybe. But again, looking at the total view, maybe we didn't quite lose support yet. This area of support historically is massive, right? You have a massive area of confluence in the DXY where you have, some rejections, maybe a breakout, finding some support before breaking down. Again, small bounce here, a bounce here, a rejection there, rejection there, rejection here, rejections here, breakout there. Again, a retest. So this area, this 102-ish to 100 area, it's huge, right? So we can bounce in and out of it. Again, I'm anticipating that the dollar continues its way down for a number of reasons that I've explained over the last couple months. But just know that this area is huge, and it's very confluent with historical precedent. So keeping an eye on it. Until we break 105, I'm really not concerned. I'm not really macro bearish. Now, if this continues, breaks this point, then I'll say, hey, we're in an area where we're breaking out of that zone. We've broken out of our downtrend, so on and so forth. But for now, we're moving sideways and down. This is still a downtrend at the end of the day. What's up, Dorian? What's up, you sir? I forgot to say hi to everybody. What's up, Mike? What's up, Dees? Alex, I remember when you bought Bitcoin around 16K and people still say you can't anything. Oh, like I can't buy anything or I don't know what I'm doing. I mean, at the end of the day, like even if we went down to 12 or 8,000, if you started buying at 16K, you're buying an asset that's down 80%, which is, I mean, if you're at all bullish on crypto, right, which you should be, it's a technology. We're in a very large technological advance, especially with now AI. And those of you that think a recession's coming, it is impossible to have a recession in a technological advance. There's too many opportunities and too much, there's just too much money right now as well. So anyways, yeah, it's kind of like, did I nail the bottom? No, because I started buying at 17. We bottomed at 15.5. So I was off the bottom, but I was close, right? You're never going to nail a bottom or a top ever, right? So my biggest piece of advice is say, hey, you know, let's look at the last like bear to bull market. Right? So let's say you didn't even buy at 3,000, or let's say you started buying here, right? You started buying at 6,000 because we were down, 70%. Lots of consolidation. Maybe you thought it was accumulation, and then we dropped another 50%. Okay, that sucks, but now you get to buy more at 3,000. Now we're down 85%. So you start buying, you don't know if it's the bottom yet, so now you're buying this, maybe you get some orders in around here, you get this, you get the COVID crash, you get all this. So let's say your average is somewhere in the 6,000 range, right? That's your dollar cost average price. Well, okay, let's take a look at this, right? Did you buy the bottom? No, right? You bought around the bottom. You bought an accumulation range because essentially we accumulated between 3 and 10K, which is 6K is pretty good in the middle. So, right, all you did was slowly buy once a week, not really hard, and let's say you sell around 50K. 55K is where you sold. I sold around 53, right? So let's say you sold around 50K. You made 700%, right? If you have, $20, $30, $40, $50,000 into this, I mean, you're walking away with a monstrous amount of money, right? You're almost at 10x, so you're making about 300, 400,000. On top of that, if you live in the U.S., you'd pay long-term capital gains, which is way less than short-term capital gains. So you're paying 20% versus 40%. So again, you're making more money. I keep telling people, like, yes, I will make money trading. I will make a lot of money trading. I have a very large trading account now. And a lot of that's thanks to this DCA that I had a long time ago, right? Not even a long time ago, a couple years ago. So now, let's say I stopped buying for now. If we go below 25K, I'll start buying again. But I bought all of this. My average is about here, right? About 21, maybe slightly under 21. Okay, so if we go, let's say maybe we never break below 25K and we just do this. We go all the way to 120, right? Look at this. I mean, you're looking at a 500% gain, right? If I have $50,000 to $100,000 in, that's almost a 5x. For doing literally nothing, I paid 20% in taxes, and I made more money with that DCA probably than trading. Now, I'd argue that I could have a couple big swing trades and that number could change. But at the end of the day, I'm paying less in taxes. It's less hassle. I don't have to watch a chart too much. And at the, I started buying when we were 72% below all-time highs. So it's one of those things that you just have to look at the chart and say, okay, what's happened in the past? Am I bullish on this? Am I getting a discount? So let's say you want to buy a car, right? And the car dealership goes, hey, we're having a 70% discount on the car that you want to buy. Are you going to buy it? Like, honestly, would you buy it? You'd probably buy it. Or would you take the chance and say, oh, maybe it'll drop to 80% next week. I'm not going to buy it. Like, you're out of your mind if you're not going to buy something when it's down 70%, right? So that's just my kind of take on it. I think no matter what price you buy at when we're down significantly, especially on a risk asset in a technological boom, you're okay, right? Now, what I will say is you're probably a little... I mean, it's never not a good time to DCA, right? You could DCA now, and if we go down, then you're just buying on the way down, and that's okay too. right? I don't think we'll break below 15K. I think, if we do, we'll hit 20K and continue moving upwards, or at least continue sideways and do this, and then 2025, maybe 2024, 2025, we have that huge run again. So I don't want to give you guys a million scenarios because I don't want to A, make you emotional, or B, give you the wrong idea. I have no idea what is going to happen, especially going into next year with the presidential election, right? So ultimately, you need to look at it and say, okay, if this is, a car, like I'm going to buy a car, and it's down 77%, you think that you would buy it? And if you'd say yes, then it's time to DCA, right? This is an asset that you're bullish on. DCA is relatively not risk-free, but it's super low risk, super high reward if you can absorb the bottom. And again, your goal is to absorb the bottom. It's not to, send 100% of your portfolio at the bottom, spray and pray and hope that you get lucky. Because at the end of the day, no one knows what's going to happen in the next year, right? Guys, I'm not kidding you. I think in a couple months, and one of the things I've kind of thought about is we literally just do this, right? We just explode upwards. And, I could be wrong, but it'd be something that no one expects, right? I wouldn't even expect it, right? So it's always possible. And at least if you have absorbed this and we do go higher, then, hey, you're making money, and that's what matters. I think the top of this bull is around 100K. So one thing I will recommend is that you stop trying to call tops and bottoms, right? Guys, at the end of the day, if you're up 5x, it's time to probably sell, especially with Bitcoin. If you're up 5x, it's probably time to sell. So keep that in mind. Speaking of which, let's go over some TA after we cover Tether. Okay, nothing's going on here. Really, it's just sideways. Looking at that head and shoulders still. So I did want to say, if you're new here, welcome. I live stream Monday, Wednesday, Friday around 5 p.m. Eastern. I know I'm a little bit early today. But I'm starving, and I'm going to go upstairs and make a ginormous plate of pasta. For those of you who don't know, I do a lot of MMA stuff, boxing, kickboxing, Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, and today I was in the gym for 3 hours, and I have not eaten yet, and I'm starving. But all right, let's do a top-down analysis. So weekly, still an uptrend, still looking solid. Daily, still in that weekly uptrend. One thing I'm paying attention to is volume right now. We're seeing an overall decrease in volume as price is dropping. So if we go point A here, put point A here, point B here, where we currently are, our current bottom, right? Volume's going down. That's a sign that that downtrend is not being confirmed, right? And you're seeing exhaustion in that downtrend. So what I'm expecting is come back down, maybe retest this uptrend again before heading up. Now, do we break 32K, or do we, make that infamous double top and head down from there? I have no idea. Right? Until we get there, I won't have any idea. The biggest way to tell is, of course, volume. If we start that uptrend again and volume starts going down, then we'll have that double top confirmation. If volume's going up into it, however, then we're looking at a potential breakout. So until we get there, guys, I won't have that answer, but I am expecting a bounce. I'm not expecting a knife through. However, just because I say that doesn't mean we can't just knife through, right? It's always possible. Wait for that reversal setup. We're looking for some type of pattern. Again, I'd like to see on the 4-hour something nice. I'd like to see maybe we slowly head back down, get a double bottom. It'd be, people might short that because they think that it's a breakdown, even though 28,000 is the true support area. So keep my eyes open for that. Can I come over and chill in your house? I mean, I guess if you know where I live, you could say hi. I do have an announcement for everybody. So I have been wanting. So for those of you who know, I have a giant Rottweiler. He's upstairs. He just went to the vet, so he's probably pretty tired. But over the last 2 years, I've been trying to get another dog, and last night got drunk with a girlfriend, as tradition. And she was like, I'd really like a Doberman. And I was like, well, that's just another Rottweiler. I love Rottweilers. So this morning I did a lot of research, found a breeder, talked to him, put a deposit down on another puppy. So hopefully Hopefully I'll bring him on stream. He'll be 7 weeks old when I pick him up. Super excited about him. I'm probably going to name him Greco for Greco-Roman wrestling. Again, big MMA background. He's going to be the dad's about 120 to 130 pounds. So I'd imagine he's somewhere there. He's the biggest puppy in the litter. So he's got that going for him. But we'll see. See how he does in his training. For those of you who don't know, I grew up training dogs, so he will be trained. He will be put through the gauntlet. He'll be a good boy. Plus, he's got another big male Rottweiler to look up to. So looking forward to that. The Bronx, Little Italy. I don't live in New York, man. I'm actually moving to South Florida this time next year. So you said got drunk with the girlfriend is a classic. Yeah. So, yeah, I mean, it sounds spontaneous, and it kind of was, because you got to pull the trigger, right? Buying a purebred dog is $1,000, $2,000, and I was like, when I was explaining it to her this morning, I'm like, I've been talking about getting another dog for years. Part of the reason that stopped that COVID, I was going to get another dog during COVID, and the breeder decided not to have puppies because of COVID, right? Because we were, it was an unknown time. People were suffering. People didn't know what was going to happen next, so they didn't have puppies. So, yeah, that was, that was the start of my morning, was explaining that one. But I'm not a spontaneous person. I've been doing my research. The bloodline of the dog is very good, so we'll see how he does. Right. I wanted to explain this. So, a lot of people have been asking, is this an inverted head and shoulders? And it is not. So we actually dip below the left-handed shoulder, which makes it not symmetrical, which means that this pattern is a fake out. People asked, how did you know that we were going to pull back? So I tweeted yesterday, we pumped, we went all the way to, what is this, like 30,300? And they said, oh, why do you think that this is a fake out? And this is the reason why. Also, on the daily, we had no volume. We had very flat volume. 29,500 is not a true area of resistance. So for now, we are going to remove it. So again, 3 reasons. Not a lot of volume. This is not a true level of resistance. And number 4, our reversal pattern looked wonky or not symmetrical. Not symmetrical patterns often are fake outs, for those of you that don't know. Could this continue upwards? Sure. Could it come back down and we get 28K? Sure. But this is something I don't ever long. I've learned my lesson 100 times on patterns that kind of look like something but aren't really that. And I'll show you what I mean, right? So keep this in your mind, where we essentially invalidate the pattern. So look at this. You invalidate the pattern. You break below that shoulder completely. If it was a valid pattern, this would have been the shoulder, right? We would have spiked up like that. But here we go. I'm going to show you guys an example of a perfect inverted head and shoulders. This is one I use when I teach my grading school. And then I'll show you a perfect head. So on the daily, this is a perfect inverted head and shoulders, right? You have a left shoulder, a head, and a right shoulder. Our shoulders do not invalidate, right? You dip slightly in there, but you don't make a new low, right? You don't break below the head. Perfect, right? This is a perfect inverted head and shoulders. Nice neckline here right in the middle, right where we see some of these rejections. Nice breakout, nice volume on the breakout, nice volume on the bounce. So very, very clean head and shoulders. Now, keep in mind, when you see these patterns that look weird, or maybe it could be, maybe it kind of looks like, it's probably nothing, right? So again, here you go, head and shoulders. You have your right shoulder does not invalidate. We don't push higher. We don't make this awkward or wonky, as I've said. And then you have a perfect neckline here. Nice breakdown volume that confirms it. Yes, we did reverse a month later, but the pattern played out, right? And that's what matters ultimately. I wonder what Agris is posting. Can't see them anymore. Sometimes I look, I'll be honest, sometimes I get on, I have a burner Twitter profile. And sometimes I look, but I don't think I've looked in the last month and a half, just because he's such a bad analyst. Like, he's losing followers. I mean, that's the last time I checked. I don't know what he's doing anymore. He was, caught scamming people. Everyone trashes him under his tweets. Like, he got what he deserves, right? Justice has hit him with a swift hammer, and he's gotten what he's deserved, right? So he's a terrible analyst. He didn't call anything over the last year correct. He missed this whole move up. He missed the whole way down. He was bullish here on XRP, and then XRP dropped like 70%. He was bullish on Bitcoin there. He was bullish on Bitcoin here. He said the bottom was here. You can't trade with absolutes. You can't go in thinking that you're the best and boast your ego everywhere, because you'll be wrong. Guys, I've been wrong 100 million times, right? So, but the thing is you can use TA to your advantage. I don't know. He's just, I don't know what his goal is, because he trashes Bitcoin. He says it's useless and a Ponzi and all this, but he always talks about it. Like, if you don't believe in something, right, why would you talk about it? Why would you waste your time trading it? Why would you waste your time doing analysis on it? It just doesn't make any sense. I think he has some serious mental issues that he needs to figure out. Any thoughts on Chainlink? TA doesn't look at all special right now, aside from $7 breakout retest. I think Link's solid. I mean, I think Link's doing fine. Looks great. It just needs to break the excuse me. It just needs to break the $9 level. I'm keeping my eye on it. Wow, we went all the way to $8 today. Holy crap. I'm keeping my eye on it. We broke our little intermediate downtrend with this day, so I'm keeping my eye on 9, right? I bought a bunch throughout here, bought a bunch down here. I actually doubled my Link position down here, and I've been holding since. I've got about $15,000 worth of Link. My hope is that it does have 20 to 50x. If it does, that'll be, I don't know what I'll do. Maybe I'll buy another Rottweiler. No, but my average is somewhere in like the $6. So if we do a 10, 20x, we're good. Doing good. But yeah, I think Link will eventually break the $9 level. It's just kind of like, when is it going to happen? It's like a Bitcoin dominance, Ethereum, and then Ethereum to Bitcoin, and then I'll call it. So this looks like a breakdown retest, and it's going to continue down. So alts might have their day soon. You can see that Ethereum to Bitcoin is green today. I don't really see anything that looks reversal-like. Right? So kind of a weird-looking chart. I do think that this will continue upwards, as Ethereum has always outperformed Bitcoin over the last couple years. So keep an eye on that. But let's take a look at Ethereum for you real quick, for whoever asks, because sometimes I do like to go with Ethereum. On the weekly, daily looks like a lot of sideways, kind of dancing around the support zone. I'd look for a break above 2,000 in this thing full sends. Pretty high, in my opinion. It looks pretty good, and I think that we're still in our overall uptrend, right? So yeah, we're still in our overall uptrend for Ethereum. It's looking really, really solid. Other than that, I don't really have any TA to go over for Ethereum. There's no reversal pattern. Just know that we're still in our uptrend, just like with Bitcoin, and Ethereum to Bitcoin will probably start shifting upwards a bit before Bitcoin dominance. Ultimately, Bitcoin dominance, we want to see this do this, right? And when we hit this level, that's when you want to start looking at setups with Bitcoin, because it's going to outperform alts. All right, guys, I think I'm going to call it there. I don't really have anything else to go over today. Again, if you're new, I live stream Monday, Wednesday, Friday at 5 p.m. Eastern. So around this time. If you want notifications, you can subscribe to the notification bell. I'd appreciate it.